Okay, allow me to share my slides, then we can start. Okay, just give it a minute, it's taking time. I don't know why. All right, there it is. Believe it's visible also on your end. So what we covered last week was understanding and applying normalization techniques to reduce and optimize database structure for efficiency. I promise you, I'll make sure to take it slow. I understand that you guys just had some heavy lunch. So as you can see, some of you have taken it. I don't want you guys to sleep or uh, yeah, just make sure you have some water or a glass of water next to you. Please don't sleep. All right. Yeah, just make sure also you're noting something down. Just write, take a piece of paper and a pen and write something down so that you don't sleep. Now, you're going to understand and apply normalization techniques to reduce redundancy and optimize database structure for efficiency. We're also going to learn concepts and rules of first, second, and third normal forms to ensure data integrity and minimize anomalies. Finally, we are not going to apply practical, it's just theory. Um, yeah, let's start with understanding exactly what normalization is. The reason why I'm doing a recap is because you guys had a long weekend, and I'm sure if I ask here who went through the last week's recording, only a few. Also, who went through like the LMS content, a few. Who went through the notes they wrote last week? Only a few. So I'm just repeating for you guys to understand because you're gonna need it later in life. Now, normalization is a systematic approach to break down tables to eliminate repetition and undesirable characteristic like insertion anomaly in DBMS, update anomalies in DBMS. So when you see the insertion anomalies mean in insertion error, also update error in DBMS and delete errors in DBMS. The next thing, um, I also said what causes the need for normalization. So for those who were in class last week, maybe you can just remind us what I said. What causes the need for normalization? Yes. Yeah, let me see. Okay. What causes the need for normalization? Yes, Pauline, I said insertion, but insertion what exactly? When you tell someone just insertion, what do you mean by insertion? Hey, it was only Pauline in last week's class. My sound has an issue. For real, let me check. How about now? I think now it's better. All right, to eliminate, Ivan, thank you so much. Jessica, thank you. All right. Yeah, Jessica, Chapitha, I'm breaking. Let me fix my router. Joyce Chemtai, thank you so much. Yeah, to remove redundancy. Okay, yeah. Now I said what causes the need for normalization, or what errors causes the need for you to ensure that when creating tables, it is normalized. Debate, amazing, yes. Difficulty in managing relationship. Zenello, Zenello, eliminate redundancy and anomalies. Yeah. Anomalies in data. Yeah. All right. Now that we've understood that part, so we are good with what exactly normalization is. So another concept that we covered is the benefits of normalization and why it's important in SQL. So we covered there are four, but there are so many out there in the internet. Do not be afraid to always research. I touched on reducing redundancy. I also said reducing redundancy, improve query performance, um, minimize update anomalies, and enhances data integrity. We say redundancy is when the same information is stored multiple times, and a good way of avoiding this is by splitting data into smaller tables. What do I mean by improve query performance? You can perform faster query execution on smaller tables that have undergone normalization. Another thing is minimize update anomalies. With normalized tables, you can easily update data without affecting other records. Enhances data integrity. It ensures data remains consistent and accurate. We also cover the different types or the different normal forms or the types of DBMS normal forms. Okay. So we covered the first normal form where we say this is the level that ensures that each column in your data contains only atomic value. Okay, that's the first normal form. With the second normal form, it eliminates what you call partial dependency by ensuring that non-key attributes depend only on the primary key. All right. That normal form remove what you call a transitive dependency by ensuring that non-key attributes depend only on the primary key. Okay. This level also builds up upon 2NF. You also have the Boy's Code normal form BCNF. This is a more strict version of 3NF that addresses additional anomalies. At this normalization level, every determinant is a candidate key. Fourth normal form is a normalization level that builds on BCNF by dealing with multi-valued dependency, meaning complex relationship. And then we have the fifth normal form, which one is used to manage complex join dependencies. The next thing is just the first normal form. The rules, it should only have single or atomic value attributes. All columns in the table should have unique names, and the order in which the data is stored does not matter. So for a table to be in second normal form should be in the first normal form and should not have what you call a partial dependency. This should be in that normal form. So a table is said to be in that normal form. It satisfies the first and the second normal form, and it does not have transitive dependency. Yeah, that is all that I covered in last week's class. All right, let's gear it up to today's content, an exciting content. It's around what you call backup, something that you need in your software engineering journey. Okay, so you need to know how to do backup or database backup. Yeah. So today is gonna be an exciting session. I promise you, I'll take it slow. I believe you've already added the path to the environment variable for the Linux users so that we go together. Now, at the core of this lesson, you're going to learn how to do the following. So number one, you're going to understand the importance of backups and the different types of backups in SQL. You're also going to differentiate between hot like a heater and cold backups and identify when to use each method. Number three, you're going to learn how to use MySQL command line tools like MySQL dump and MySQL for creating and storing backups. You're also going to perform hands-on activities to backup, restore, migrate. Migrate MySQL database using real-world scenarios. All right, first things first. Let's start by demystifying what exactly backup is. Maybe you can tell me in your own terms, like what do you understand by the term backup? I know you usually come with a flash drive and you say, I want to create a backup of my school's files or my school documents. I want to create a backup. Leon, creating a copy of your original work. Pauline, creating a copy. Yes. Having a copy of important files. Yes, Lerato. Faith creating an extra copy. Hey, secondary storage. Esther, Elisha, Boniface creating a copy, an exact copy of original content. Creating a copy. Where are the rest? The rest of the team. We are so many of us here. Duplicate Titus. Duplicate. Kimberly, having a copy of original content. Storing the original content. Yes. Now that you understand at least the basic of backup, that's the same thing when it comes to MySQL. So we are just doing the same thing. It's only that for us, because we've learned or we are going to learn a new command line tool that will help us to do that backup instead of you having coming with an external hard drive and then adding injecting it to your computer and then transferring those files. But for us, we're just doing it using a command line. Okay. Now, you can do MySQL backup in two ways. Okay. So we have physical and what you call a logical backup. Okay. So with logical, it transfers files and all the create statement, the insert, all that, of which that's the one that we'll be using today. With physical, you need to use an external tool. Let me see if it's called Pacona. Is it Persona? Pacona? I don't know. This one. Let me just share it. Pacona. This is the tool that can use to perform what you call physical backup. Okay. One thing though, it does not run in Windows. It can only run in Linux. Another thing, if you're running it in Linux or Mac, just make sure you have sufficient storage and also CPU memory. Okay. So don't try to install it if you only have 2 GB or 4 GB. It's gonna utilize all that. So just make sure to have sufficient storage. Another thing is you can also use this tool to do some monitoring. Like you can just use it if you, let's say you're running a data center, you can install this to your sysadmin so that the sysadmin can always be monitoring like how the database is being queried, how many people are accessing the database at this time, like which path are people trying to query the data the most, and things like that. So yeah, it has all that kind of feature. Yeah, if you have enough space, just feel free to give it a try. You just need to come to the documentation and then read on how to install it. So all the commands that you need to execute are written there. Wow. Yes. All right. So let's learn exactly what. Oh, let me share the slides. Do you guys have access to these slides? Yeah, I can see quite a number have. So if you have the slide, just access the slides. Yeah, I've shared the slides. Let's access the slide. Let me give you 30 seconds to access the slides. All right. Okay, great. Now, just make sure you don't tamper with it. All right. Yeah. So in MySQL, you can make a backup of the entire database server, including the configuration file. This is referred to as a physical backup. Okay. So with physical backup, the tool for physical backup, it's Pacona. Okay. It's free, it's open source, and a powerful backup tool for MySQL. Also, it's faster than logical backup. The other one is called logical backup, which we'll be using. So with logical backup allows you to recreate table structure and data without copying the actual data files. Logical backup exports the database structure and data to SQL statements. A popular tool for performing what you call a logical backup is MySQL dump, which comes with the default MySQL installation, which I believe everyone has. Now, both tool exports the backup files that contain create table and insert statements, allowing for creation of the tables and data. Now, a logical backup provides you with flexibility, but can take longer to restore than a physical backup. Besides logical and physical backups, we can classify the backups based on the database operation stage during the backup process. Have I lost anyone? I know it's lunchtime. So have I lost anyone? All right, we are good. All right, cool. So let's learn about what you call a hot backup. Hot backup, hot and cold backup refer to how the database is handled while backup is being performed. So with hot backups are performed while the database is actively running and serving requests. This method ensures continuous availability and minimal disruption to users during the backup process. Okay, Percona Extra Backup can perform hot backups, capturing the database state without locking tables and keeping the database available during the backup. All right, so that's all about the hot backup. We also have the cold backup. Now with cold backup are performed when the database is offline and no write operation occurs. This ensures a consistent snapshot of the entire database at the point of backup. All right, so restoring is just restoring a database to how it was when, in case maybe there's an error or something happened to your database, that's when you restore. So there are two tools you can use, the MySQL dump and MySQL. Now with that, let's go to hands-on now. Now I'll need to open the repo, this one. So let me copy the link and then share it to you. Take like 1 minute or two to, okay, not two, but one, maximum 50 seconds to access. Take like 50 seconds to access that repo. Don't clone it. We are not cloning anything. Just access. All that is required of you is to access. Just access. Only that. I've shared the link. I'm not fast. I've said I've shared a link. I want you to access that repo. Now we've switched to, we are not, don't fork. I've said just access. Your work is to access to only that. Don't fork, just access. Access. You click the link to direct you to the repo. Just access. You're not forking, you're not doing anything, you're not cloning. Just access. Only that. Yeah, just access. Once you access, are we all at the same pace? Has everyone accessed the same? All right, let me give you a minute to access the repo because it looks like some of you need some more time to access the repo. I'll stop sharing for a second. Yeah, just access. Yeah, once you get the link, please just access the repo. That's the only thing I need you to do right now. Just accessing. All right, you want me to resend? Okay. There, I've reshared the link. Just access the link. Also, the link can be found in the database WhatsApp group. Okay, let me know if you've accessed the link. Please don't clone, don't do anything. You're just accessing, you're just opening it in your browser. That's the only thing I want you to do. Don't clone. I've not said anyone to clone. All right. So I believe you're all at the same pace, right? So this is where we start from. This one is for you to learn later. Okay. Now, this is our first starting point. Okay. Now, I've already written for you everything. This command is for creating a database called HR, and then we are using HR. I believe everyone is familiar with these commands by now, right? Now, I've also created a simple table that inserts also, we also have dummy data that can use to perform all this. If you scroll down, we also have another database. If you want a database with a lot of tables, you can do that. You just need to come and copy. Now, my main area of focus is this one, HR. Okay. Are we all at the same place? HR. This one that I'm highlighting. This is where I am. Okay. Now, I want you to copy this. Click here. There's an icon, copy, copy, copy. You see this icon, the one, just look at my mouse where I'm hovering there. Once you've copied, locate my SQL workbench. Here's mine, so I'll open. There it is. That is my SQL workbench. Okay, there. So I'll pass my password. So you also need to open your SQL workbench. So I'll give you guys like 30 seconds to open SQL workbench. Have we all accessed our workbench? All right. So you remember you copied a command from the GitHub, paste it. So just paste Control V, or you can just click, paste, click, paste. Eh, Uh, so whatever I've copied, I just got it from here. Click this icon, copy, and then come to your SQL workbench. Right click, paste. That's all that I need you to do. Once you've done that, execute. So how are we executing? 1, 2, 3. Once you click this, there, we have created a whole new database. As you can see here, create database HR, use HR, so the server knows which database we are working with, and create table, that one, insert into the table that we created called employees. There it is. So tables also here. Here's the table employee. So we are all at the same pace, right? So make sure you execute. All right. Can we switch back again to GitHub? Now we want to see how we can create a backup of this, right? If you don't want to go and copy that command or the commands that are written there, you can use any database that you have there. So come back to GitHub. Now, our main area of focus is here, backing up a database. Okay, it's written in bold, backing up a database here. All right. Now, I want to back up the HR database that I just created. This is the database I created, and it has one sample table and some sample data. Now, I'll just come and copy this. So as I said, we are using this tool, MySQL dump. This is the user. The user is root. I'll be prompted to enter the password. This is the name of the database that I'm creating the backup. And then I'm redirecting everything that I have in the HR database to this file to create for me a backup. So copy, open your CMD. There. So that is my CMD. So if you're also using a Linux, it's the shell or terminal, Mac also terminal. Anyone who's lost? Yeah. When you say I'm lost, you need to tell me where exactly to repeat. After pasting in the workbench, all that is needed for you is to just execute. That's all. And then open your CMD. Open your CMD. That's all. So this is my CMD. Okay. Now the next step is going to a favorite location that I can easily access this file. I'm sure it's there. So just give me 1 minute to. So this for morning lesson. Let me delete this to avoid an error. Okay, so I'll CD to desktop. You can change it to documents, downloads, just depends with you, where you can easily access the files in your computer. Okay, paste whatever you copied from GitHub. That's the next step. Okay, just paste. All right. Once you've done that, press enter. Okay, you'll be prompted to enter the password. Now, this is where you write the password that you entered when you're installing MySQL Server for the first time. So this is mine. Add yours. Like that. We are done with the first backup. How many have managed to create a backup? Thank you, William. Done. It's that easy, right? Now, if you go to the location that you chose, mine was this one. As you can see, it's the HR SQL. This is how the backup looks like. Okay. So if we try to open it, let me see if I can open it. Yeah, okay. So this is how it looks like, right? So you can see it created all the table structures and everything, okay? And also the data. You see how the backup looks like, okay? It even tells you my SQL dump, the version that I'm using, the server 8.0, the host, where it was the backup, where the backup was created from, and also the database, the table structure, how it looks, and like how everything looks. Okay. Now, also the time it completed. That's the time. So I'll close that. All right. So if you're now, let's come back to the workbench and test if the backup that we have is the correct one, right? So here, what you're doing is just testing. So right here to the server, use HR. So delete, okay, select all from employees. Okay, so these are the rows. Now, can we test if we delete like 2 rows, okay, and then try to run the backup and see if we will be able to recover the 2 rows that we deleted by mistake. Let's just try to simulate something like that. So the next step is to delete 2 rows. So delete from employees where ID equal, can specify any ID. I'll delete 3. And 2. I'm deleting 2 rows, okay? So this is how our table looks like at the moment. We have not executed anything. We just want to look the table. How many rows does it have? Just 5. So once I execute this, it will delete ID 3. This user Bob will be deleted, and this user Jane Smith will also be deleted. So what I want to do is, I want to copy this, but I haven't executed it. So I just want to transfer it to a different page so that you see the difference. So I'll execute it from here. Okay. And then I'll write here. That way. So once I execute this at the top, there, right? So we've only remained with 1, 4, and 5. Okay, yeah. So I'm giving you like 1 minute to write the commands on your own, then test. So there's the command. Okay. Are we all now at the same pace? So you only have three records. 1, 2, 3, right? All right, cool. So let's try to run our backup file and see if we'll be able to restore the 2 rows that we lost. Initially, the table had 5, right? Initially, the table had 5. Now we deleted 2 rows. It now has what? 3 rows. This is the current state of this table. It has only 3 rows, right? So we want to run our backup and see if we will be able to recover the 2 rows that we deleted by mistake. So let's come back to our GitHub repo. So the steps are here. So this is our next step of concern, restoring a database. So all that is needed is for you to just come and copy this like that, right? Restoring a database. And then come back to the CMD. Now copy and go back to the CMD. Let's take like a minute. Just copy and go to CMD. Believe we've copied. Now I'll paste mine there. So whatever I just copied from GitHub, I've pasted it in my CMD. Okay. Now I'll press enter. I'll be prompted to enter the password. What we're trying to do right now is to see if we can be able to restore the 2 rows we deleted by mistake. Okay. There. So it's done. Now, if I go back to Workbench, will I get the 2 rows that I deleted? Initially, it was this one. Now, if I open a new working area and write use HR, because that's the name of the database, there. Let's execute now. Once you've written this, execute to confirm. And there we have it. So remember, we deleted row 2. We deleted which row? row 3 and row 2. This is how our table was looking like. It had only 3 rows. And then we ran a backup. We tried to restore from a backup that we had created, okay, to see if we can recover the 2 rows that we lost. And then after doing that, we did what? The rows now appeared. So as you can see, there's James Smith and also Bob Johnson. Please let me know if yours has executed the same. I see people are still saying, where are we copying the codes? Honestly, I've shared the GitHub repo. I'm just copying the commands from GitHub. All right, so yeah, so we've done the backup part and the restoration part. So if you could allow me, we switch back to the slides. So to back up a database on MySQL server, you use the MySQL program, MySQL dump program that comes by default with MySQL client installation. To restore a backup created by MySQL dump program, you use the MySQL command line program. So that's all about restoring. We've already created a backup and then restored. Okay. Now let's learn about a different kind of backup. We call it point in time recovery. So with point in time recovery allows you to restore MySQL database to a specific time in the past. Okay. The point in time recovery relies on 2 key components. Okay. So I want to do this the point in time, but I'll need a server. Let me see if I have a server. No. All right. Okay, let me see if I can get a server quickly. Let me stop sharing. Just 1 minute kindly. Okay, let me access the server. For point in time can only be done in Linux. So I just want to take you through the Linux, the way you can do it in Linux. And then if you ever come across this kind of challenge and maybe you've deployed your project, you'll know how to maybe do some point in time recovery if you've lost your data. So right now I just want to fire up a server quickly, a Linux server. For this one, you can just watch me doing, and then I'll give you a chance later to ask me question on the point in time recovery part. All right. So yeah, the server is up. Okay. I've shared my screen, so there it is. There. So I need to log into a server. So I'll use SSH secure shell. I for identity. You don't need to do anything. Please just kindly be patient and just watch me do it, because I understand it, not all of us have Linux. So just watch how I do it and then note down the commands that I'll be writing. if you're not able to, I promise the learners from the morning session that I'll share with them the command. So SSH hyphen I, meaning identity, you pass in your secure key. And then you log in. So I've logged into a server that is somewhere. No, you don't need to log into a server. The one who's asking, just kindly just watch me do it, and then just write down the commands that I'll be using. All right. So the point-in-time recovery allows you to restore a MySQL database to a specific time in the past. The point-in-time recovery relies on two key components: the full backup. This serves as the foundation for recovery, providing the starting state of the database. We also have what you call the binary logs. These binary log files record all changes made to the database, allowing you to replay those changes to a desired point. If you don't have full backup or a binary logs enabled, you cannot carry the point in time recovery. Let me illustrate to you how you can do a point in time recovery using the database logs generated by the database MySQL logs. Okay. So first things first, once you have access to what you call a Linux operating system or a Mac, you can do this now. I'll need to change my permission to a super user. I just need to update the machine. And then the next step will be installing the MySQL server. Okay, it's taking time to update. All right, so it's done there. So the next step is to install what we call a MySQL server, because when a project is deployed, you can't access your project using MySQL Workbench. So this is the command to install. So I'll use the package manager, then just write MySQL install MySQL -server. All right, there it is. So we've installed MySQL. I can even confirm by trying to log in. There we are in. So as you can see, the path has changed to MySQL. That means I'm in. All right. It's simple like that in Linux. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next step is I want to go back to the repo, and then so I still want to use the HR, but okay, no, not feel free. Yeah, I want to use this HR because just a sample database, and then come back to my Linux operating system. Now, the next step is to right click and then paste whatever I've copied to then press enter to execute there. So show databases, we have the HR created. Now, if I write use HR like that, show tables, we can see employees. If I write select all from employees, all right? So there it is. As you can see, the structure looks like that in itself. Now, maybe today you're doing your work and something happens. You write the command strongly. Maybe delete from employees without specifying exactly what you want to delete. Then you end up deleting the entire data. There. Initially, we had the data. And then by mistake, I forgot to add the where condition. I ended up deleting the entire data. Okay, I'm using a sample table, but when you're working as a front-end engineer, or not a front-end, but as an engineer, okay, you get tables that have like multiple rows, maybe 10,000 of records, 100,000 of records, okay? And maybe in that, maybe you've not created a backup or you've not been creating a backup, maybe in rare case. So you've deleted the data. Now you don't know who to tell. And you want to recover the data that you just lost. So what is the next step? So whatever I'll teach you today, you'll use it going forward until maybe you decide to change careers from maybe being a software engineer, maybe go to other fields, maybe doctor, which other one? Teacher. Yes. So by there, I've just remembered there's another one that I haven't shown you guys. Let me see if I can get some time and then squeeze it in. All right, so first step is to write this command. So please note this command down. Show global variable like log bin. You press enter. So this one is to check if the binary log is enabled. Okay, so for us to check if a binary log is enabled, we use what? Show global variables like logbin. Okay, so as you can see, logbin has been enabled. Okay, so the next step, I just want to delete the entire database so that you see how this is possible. So drop database HR. All right, so show database. HR disappeared, right? So the next command, which is very important for you to check if it is there, you need to write, you need to check the log number. So for us to check the log number, we write this, show master status. There gives us bin log dot 003. Okay, it is not always you'll be getting bin log 003. Sometimes you can get random numbers. So it depends with the number of commands that you've executed in your SQL server. For us, this is just a new database, also a new server. So we've not performed a lot of commands. Now, the next step, so you need to note this number down, bin log 003. And then the next step is just to exit out of the server. Now, our next step is to use a command line utility that comes with MySQL Server. It comes installed in MySQL Server. So MySQL bin log. I'll need to see what exactly was deleted. Okay, there, verbose. This is where Linux stores all the data. Var lib MySQL. / bin log. It was 5 zeros and a 3. Then redirect that with a grep to search anything that was written, delete, then you press enter. Okay. Now, when you write that, you'll see like it will get for you all logs that had delete, delete, delete. As you can see, delete from, delete from, delete from, delete. Okay. How many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me show you how you can see like more contents on what was deleted. So I'll pass in here, count. I need to count the first two and there. So as you can see, these are server started deleting them. Delete from HR employees where 1 is equals to 1, #2, all that, until to the last one. That's why when I wrote again, select all for employees, it was empty because I did not pass in the where condition. So when you forget to pass the where condition to the delete, it deletes everything from that table. That's why I say sometimes it might be unintentionally. You did not mean to delete everything, but today I don't know. You just deleted everything and you don't know how to recover. And now your supervisor is there looking at you. Now everyone's just looking at you. You're just having a crazy day. You just wishing the the day to end. All right, now let's see if you can be able to recover the data that you just lost, uh, including the database. But now, before I even do that, I need to note something down. I need to note the time all this happened. You can see the time is here. So you need to also be very careful when reading these logs. So you can see the time is written here. It was 2025, the month, the date, and then the time, it was 12, 12, and then the minutes and also the seconds. So this is the server time. Okay. Yeah. Now I need to write the time and date somewhere so that I'll be able to point exactly that to the server. So it's 2025, 04, and then the today's date. The time is exactly 12:06:26. Okay, that is perfect. Now I'll write another command. Okay, there's no point of writing another command. Linux has made everything easy. I just need to come and write 03 and then write there MySQL. Change something here. Start date time. Not start, but stop. 2025, the month, the date that all that happened, and then the exact time was that 06, and then the exact the 26, yes, like that, and then you close it, and then you press enter. So just like that, you're done with just a single command. So let's log in back to the server. Now show databases. We see the HR, use HR, select, okay, show tables, select all from employees. There, you've recovered what you call a point in time, and then you've managed to restore all the data that you lost, including the entire database. Believe you've understood the point in time. Yeah. So yeah, please take note of the commands that I'm using. So you'll need it later in life. Right now, it might not make some sense, but it'll make sense. Just hold on. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to our slides now. I'm done with this side of Linux. All right. So once you do that, you'll feel like Superman. And then I've touched on restoring a database. Okay, point in time. Can I get now someone to read for us the checkpoint question? Or you want a coffee break? All right. So there are two projects that I showed the morning, guys. I don't know if I should do it right now. Okay, let's take a 1 minute break and then come back. Then see if we can do those projects or we do something different. Yeah. All right. Let's get someone to read for us checkpoint question. I don't know how many of you have installed Node.js before I go on to do the project that I want to show you guys. How many of you have Node.js installed? Yeah, I can just type me. I have it installed there in the chat. All right, so I see quite a number, don't have it. So let me see. All right, so quite a number do not have my Node.js. All right, okay, there's no point of doing the project. I can see quite a number don't have my the Node.js installed. So can I get someone to read for us the checkpoint question? Patricia. Yes, Patricia, gone. Wairimu. All right, you're not there. Let me give it to someone else. Owen. Owen Muredi. Okay, okay. Why have you guys raised your hand if you don't want to talk? Oh, it's your mic. Tabitha. Am I audible?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Just read for us the checkpoint question.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tabitha. What is a logical backup in MySQL?
Yeah. Now, as I described earlier, we said we touched on logical backup. Maybe you can explain to us what exactly a logical backup is in the charts. Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you, Fabian. Backup data structure and the data. Thank you so much, Fabian. Read for us the second one, Tabitha.
What is the difference between a hot backup and a cold backup?
Yes, hot like a heater. Yeah. So what's the difference between hot and cold backup? A hot backup happens when the server is running. Yes, yeah, Ida, nice one. Cold happens when the data is offline. Thank you, William. Read for us the other one. Which MySQL?
Which MySQL command line utility is used to create a backup?
All right. So which MySQL command line utility is used to create a backup? MySQL dump. MySQL dump. Yeah. Now, the final one.
What is a physical backup in MySQL?
All right. Yes. What's a physical backup in SQL? MySQL, MySQL. What's a physical backup? All right. Yeah. What's a physical backup? Anastasia. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Anastasia, I can see you got the tool, but I'm asking, what exactly is physical backup? So once you get the link that I'm sharing, please just go to that form and add all the feedback that you have there. Yeah, now, yeah, thank you, Fabian. Nice one. So I need someone else to read for us the key takeaways before I switch it up to something different. Thank you so much, Tabitha. Can we all clap for Tabitha? Yeah, please just react with the clap, flowers, confetti for Tabitha. Okay, so the first person is Angela.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing great today. It's afternoon from Nigeria. Sorry if it's evening in Kenya. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Go on.
Okay. Use point-in-time recovery to restore a MySQL database to a specific time in the past. Should I go to the next one?
Yes, please.
Restore a database from a full backup and restore to a specific time from the binary log to perform a point-in-time recovery. Then the
Next one.
third
Yeah.
one, use the MySQL command to restore a dump file created by the MySQL dump program. Then the next one says, use the MySQL dump program to make a backup of one or more tables from a database. Then the last one says, use the MySQL dump program to back up a database on a MySQL server.
All right. Let's all clap for Angela. Thank you so much, Angela, for volunteering and reading for us. All right. Yeah. Let's all clap for Angela and Tabitha. Okay, so the next point is I was to show you. Hey, so I told you guys not to change. Now you've started misbehaving. I told you like, hey, I don't know now what to say. I told you please don't change. I don't know what you've written. I told you guys I'm sharing the slides with you, but don't go and change. Now some of you, I don't know if you've changed the content. All right, no problem. Okay. So I'll just find you out who did this. All right, just know if you're the one who did this, you better tell me why you changed it. Okay, so there's no point of always sharing with you the slides. That's what you mean. Because I'm sharing with you the slides and you're misbehaving. That means you don't need the slides. All right. Yeah, I think I can stop the recording to take in your question. I'll not do the morning session projects because you guys have said do not have the Python and Node.js, so there's no point of doing them. But if you have them, just go and do them. They're here, Lab 7. I've written everything that you need to do, so just go and execute and try them on your own. See if you're able to do it. For the other one, the Python is Lab 8. Just come here, Lab 8, and then try and do it and see if you can get something out of them. Yeah, just learn different ways of doing the same thing. All right, so for those who are watching recording, the class ended there. Now I want to stop the recording and take in your question.